Are you ready to master the art of creating content that converts?
Hey, I'm Mia, a mum of two who went from being a burnt-out AMBO to six-figure content creator in less than a year, all while navigating a late ADHD diagnosis.
And I'm Kristen, also a mum of two and a former corporate branding queen turned entrepreneur. My dyslexic brain sees marketing very differently, and that's my superpower.
And together we're showing women like you how to master video marketing and create content that generates income.
Whether you're just starting out or ready to scale, we are breaking down everything from landing brand deals to building your own empire.
Welcome to I Am That Content Creator podcast, where we turn scroll-stopping content into serious income.
No filters, no fluff.
Just real strategies from two neurodivergent mums who get it. So let's turn your phone into a video marketing machine.
And let's go!
Let's go!
Guys, we're professional guys.
How's it going? Okay, there's that intro done.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take it back a little, guys. Welcome to the I Am That Content Creator podcast, your no BS guide to mastering video marketing and getting paid for it. Yes, even as a beginner. I'm Kristen Wenner, your co-host, hanging out with Mia.
Hello, welcome back to 2025. Well, welcome to 2025.
I know, we're not coming back here. We're literally just dipping into 2025. But I feel like what we need... Yes. And also, so for those of you that may have been like, that wasn't the normal intro, like you guys that have been around the block a couple of times, Mia and I wanted to let you know the I Am ... podcast has changed to I Am That Content Creator podcast.
Yeah, little change. We've got a few changes coming into 2025, but that's a pretty big one.
That is a pretty big one because we had like the I Am ... podcast. When we first decided that name, I'm still really happy with it. But what we found was like SEO wise and focus wise and all those things, which we're going to get into today because we are talking about word of the year. So we realized that it kind of didn't really have a purpose. It didn't really have a searchable name, and we want to be known as content creators. That's what we are. That's what we love to do. That's what we teach inside our community. And so we've just kind of marinated on it. We didn't change it quickly. We've changed the artwork. If that's popped up, you might be like, guys, who dis? It's us.
It's us. Yeah. A couple of word changes. But yeah, you got to think about that stuff in your business too, because the name of your stuff is kind of important when people are searching on the internet.
Yes.
So, the I Am ... podcast. Yeah. I mean, what's ... To us, like we like to talk about a lot of things, but content is what we're about. So,
yeah. And I feel like the I Am ... podcast, it was amazing because it allowed us not to sit in a box, and that's probably a problem that you and I have. I definitely do, being the manifesting generator. I don't like to sit in a box.
Yes.
I don't like to be kind of told what to do or anything like that. And that allowed us to talk about a lot of different things. But then we found that it was still on that topic of content, and that's what we love speaking about. That's what we love teaching women, especially neurodivergent women, and we want to make sure that was part of the intro in this new podcast. Myself, I have dyslexia. For those of you who don't know, we might deep dive into that again in 2025 so we can share our personal stories, and Mia with her ADHD diagnosis. So we wanted, like, our community is surrounded by women that are neurodivergent, that are mums, that might be manifesting generators and generators that just, we like to pivot. We like to do things. So we didn't want to it feels like this feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. And, a lot of people don't like the word niche and whatever, but sometimes you've just got to be known for something to get traction in your business. And for us, that's content. It's always been content. It's how I got started. Kristen is amazing at content. She's been creating content for a long time. And that's where, we're getting results for our students. So content can mean a lot of things, but
it's king.
Yes, it is. And our domino belief is content is the catalyst to getting you paid. Doesn't matter what you're selling, content, you're going to need to create good content. So that's what we're about.
Yeah, so that's us swinging into 2025 with I am that content creator. So hopefully on here, like it's going to be the same kind of content. We want to make sure that we're giving you up-to-date stuff, that we're sharing with you how you can build your business, and it all comes back to your content and how to make that better. We're going to have some guest speakers on. We're going to do all the things, but that's a little cheeky change that we've had. However, what we are bouncing into today's episode is one of my favorite things to talk about. And I've done it now for, I want to say 4 or 5 years. This might be the 5th year I've done it. And that is the word of the year. Some people do it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people don't believe in it. And I don't care because I do.
Well, I never really thought about it or heard about it before I met you, but I can't believe a year has passed since
I know,
we were
right?
talking about this a year ago, which is the first year that I did it, I believe.
Do you remember your word of the year?
It was no, what was it? It's something to do with unmasking and
Was it unfolding?
unfold. Yeah, something like that. I should go back and listen to it because I mean, although I didn't consciously think of that word all year, looking back, I've learned so much about myself this year that I have unfolded and I've started to, you know, come into myself more, which was my goal for last year. And it was a good year.
And I think the key thing with word of the year is it doesn't have to be like if you choose a word and it doesn't fit, that's okay. And you can mold from there. But the idea of it for me and the reason that I loved it so much is that it becomes an anchor and it becomes something to turn to and remind you of. And I think when the process first started, and it's in the episode, we can put in the show notes the first episode we did around that last year. Well, whatever year it was, it would have been last year, the start of last year or 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to put it in the show notes. The story behind that was I remember we were at I was doing some work with another woman. She had a Christmas party. We were all there. There was like 5 of us. And we went down the table and she was like, okay, well, what's everyone's word of the year? And I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. And she was like, oh, well, mine's joy. And I want to bring more joy into my life, more joy into my children's life, more joy into my everyday. And she kind of just explained the whole concept of it. And I was like, I've never done that. And then she explained the word she had the year before and how that had, because the word she had the year before, I can't remember now, but it was something quite work focused, like determined. It wasn't that word, but it was something very, very focused. And she was like, this year I want joy. I want to bring joy to everything. And it's just nice because for me, I look at it, like I said, as that anchor word. It's that word that when you get off course, you come back to. It's that word that when you're feeling really rocky and really wobbly, you can kind of go, no, hang on a minute. That's not, you know, where am I now? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I need to kind of, it pulls you back in alignment. That's how I feel about the word of the year. Would you agree?
Yeah. And there's so many distractions and different paths to go down that come at you. And if you don't kind of come back to that anchor, you can get lost and you can sort of lose yourself in lots and lots of different things. But I think if you set an intention for the year and kind of stick to it, you're going to have more focus, I think, and you're going to be able to bring yourself back to it. And it's like a constant reminder, I'm going off track again. I need to come back and focus on what I plan to focus on. Yeah.
And it's also one of those things that, you know, if you decide to have a word of the year, and the way that you can kind of come to that word, it doesn't have to be work focused. It doesn't have to be family focused. It can just be a word that resonates with you, a word that aligns with you in whatever part of your life you're in. I mean, our word this year, I do think focuses more on our business because we both come to the same word, which we didn't have to. We've got 2. I've certainly got 2. One is the same as Mia's and what we've kind of decided together. But we came to that separately. And then when we had a discussion, we were like, no, that's it. And it just keeps coming back to that. So it might be extremely work focused for you. It might be something that you need so that it can propel you further within your business. Or it might be that, you know, you do want more joy in your life, your business, your family, your relationships. Like that might be it. And therefore it doesn't feel like a work focus, but it really is because you might, for example, if we use joy, for example, you might want more joy in your business and you're feeling, you know, flat and discouraged. And so you want that. So I think it's also important to realize that it just needs to be a word that aligns with you and makes you feel something. And for me, it's funny because my word last year, I must admit, I don't think I really connected with it, even though it was, so my word last year was fighter, because I was talking about the fact that like, which now, like if I deconstruct it, works in terms of like, I was just so used to continuously going and churning and doing and doing and doing. And I wanted fighter because I wanted a word that, I mean, the long story is I love that Christina Aguilera's fighter. Like every time I hear that when I'm running, that's my like, just, I'm going to fucking do this. Get out of my way. You can't stop me. And so I wanted to bring that feeling into 2024, which was, you're not going to stop me. You're not going to deter me. Like I will make this happen. And so I do believe that has happened. Like I think we jumped through a few hurdles last year that
we did.
Challenged us.
And we didn't give up. And we fought through it. Like,
and
his mums with all the other stuff. Like, yeah.
And I think even like, you know, every time I heard that song when I was on the treadmill going for a run or whatever, it did pull me back. And I did think, yeah, you have been fighting. You have been working so goddamn hard. You deserve this. You've got this. So I think for that, but at the same time, part of it didn't align with me as much as I thought. Like the year before, I remember my word was possible, and I still align with that word because I still believe that anything's possible. You just got to give it a try. And that, so I suppose what I'm saying is if you're listening to this and you're like, I've never done that, curious about it, I think Mia and I would challenge you to give it a shot. And even if you forget it halfway through, that's fine. But if you've never done it before, it could be something that completely changes the way you do things. Or just some people make a real kind of wank fest of it. It's like it's everything that it just must be. And it doesn't have to be that. But I just feel like there's something magical in creating a word of the year that's your center point. That's your pivotal something.
Yeah, and something to look back on as well. So my word, I'm pretty sure it was unfold. It was something like that because
it was very on point for you. I remember being like, man, that was great.
Yeah. I was going through my ADHD diagnosis and kind of like meeting my brain for the first time. And this whole entire year, I've spent so much time learning about myself and my true self and what I actually want and who am I and why have I tried to hide it this whole entire time. So even though every day I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to unfold myself and whatnot, but looking back, I did spend a good amount of time unfolding who I actually am, and I'm still working on that. But it's good to look back on that as well and say, did that word kind of weave throughout my year? And yeah, it did. I learned so much about myself, and I was kind of more open than usual to learning about myself. I've never actually thought about who am I? And I think that's what business does to you and entrepreneurship does to you. It forces you to find out who you are, and you learn more about yourself rather than just going to a job every day and just rocking up and that's what you do. So yeah, it was a good year.
And I think, I don't know who says, I reckon James Wedmore says something about, like there's a quote, or he always says something about, you know, being an entrepreneur is the most challenging and rewarding self-discovery journey you'll ever do.
Absolutely.
Like, because it's just something that, you know, and now listening back to everything that kind of you did unfold in 2024, it was the perfect word. Like so perfect with the whole ADHD journey. And then you started your ADHD TikTok account and that blew up, and, you know, unfolding and discovering all those things to kind of come to here. Like it's just this perfect storm, I think, when you look back at it. And I think the reflection process is actually the nicest part, because one thing that we don't do well at all is celebrate wins or anything like that. So this is kind of like a little reflection celebration, like, okay, we've done a lot. And I don't know, it just, for me, it just brings you back to, I don't know, a level.
Yeah. And if you think of your word, fighter, like think of all the conversations that we had together on Slack where we were just kind of broken.
Yeah.
We were stressed. There was tears. We were working through a lot of things that as entrepreneurs you just have to work through. And not once did we ever say, oh, let's call it a day. Not
so
once.
True. So true. Yeah. And I think that's even nicer to reflect on that, because there's so many times we could have just gone, it's too hard. Like maybe we just go get a part-time job and we'll just do this as a little cheeky side hustle and we'll just see. But without giving it everything we've given it this far, and then what's coming this year, that's where it would have crumbled, and you're not going to be a side hustle trying to make this work. So I think that's right in terms of there was no folding in the towel. It was like, it's this or nothing. So let's go for it.
And if you don't go through the struggles as an entrepreneur, you're never going to get to the next level, because we have learnt so much last year, which is where our word comes into it, our word of the year this year. If you don't go through that, it's going to be really hard to get to the next level of your business. So the struggles are actually a big part of this.
Yeah. And so the word that we've got for this year, we'll tell you in a minute, but we'll just kind of reflect on 2024. We just had a live chat within our community, Hive Hub Collective. We just had a chat in there with all of our members around kind of reflection of 2024. And so do you want to kind of like outline why we've probably come to this word and what 2024 looks like and why this word is so pivotal in us moving forward?
Yeah. So when I look back on 2024 as a whole, it kind of felt a bit messy. Good messy, lots of struggles, learnt lots. We pivoted a few times and, we were finding our feet. But I think looking back, the word that we've come to for this year is pivotal because of the lessons that we learned in 2024. And for us to have the awareness of ourselves and our business to come to this word, I think is really, really important and really great that we've come to this word, because it just shows that our failures, which they're not big failures, but they're failures, have brought us to this next level in our business.
And it's really important to remember that those failures that we talk of and those failures that we share openly are such an incredible learning tool for getting to that next step. Like, there is not one entrepreneur you will ever meet, not one content creator, not one of you who's like never failed, because then you've actually never tried. Like, you've never got uncomfortable enough to be like, we're just going to jump 2 feet, let's go. And when you do that, you do stumble a bit. And what we would consider a failure, some people would be like, nah, mate, massive success. But for us personally, that's how we saw it, that it just wasn't our finest hour, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But what it did do is give us some incredible learning tools that, and we are such a believer that success does leave clues, and we've seen those clues. We ignored them for a while. And we're like, nah, mate, let's try and make success over here with nothing.
No, we're hitting us in the face over and over. Our neurodivergent brains are like, hey, let's do this. Let's do that.
This looks like fun. Let's go get that funny thing.
Where's the dopamine?
So, our word of the year from a dyslexic manifesting generator and an ADHD generator is drum roll. If I can insert a drum roll when I'm editing, I will. If not, have that in your gob or your ear holes, wherever they are. Our word of the year this year for 2025 is focus.
Focus.
Not
focus.
Focus.
How?
Focus.
No? And I think for us, we are meeting focus for the first time in our lives.
Yes. You may be more with your ADHD medication than me, so I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah, I'm medicated. I'll be right.
Whenever we needed like a pure focus day, just send me some ADHD meds and then we can get shit done.
Kristen's raw dogging it. She wants to create something. You're like, no, focus.
But it's something that's already come into our language. Like, over our Slack chat, we, over the little holiday period, if you want to call 6 weeks of school holidays holiday period, good on you. But over that time, we have been having discussions around, we could do this, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, one of us will be like, hang on. No, we need to focus on this. Once we've done that and seen the success there, and that is rolling, churning, ticking over like a beautifully well-made machine, then we will do that. Where before we'd be like, yeah, that's cool. We just made like 14K on that launch. Cool, that's awesome. Hey, let's go create something absolutely fucking opposite that.
Yeah. New freebies, new landing pages, new products, new content. Yeah. And look, the word focus for someone with ADHD and who's a manifesting generator and a very creative person sounds very boring. But sometimes when you want success, you have to do the same thing over and over and over again and get really good at it.
Yeah.
Until you can start bringing other layers in.
Yeah. And so for that, like for that word for us is going to be such an anchor. I can already feel there's conversations where we won't even have to say yes or no to each other. It'll be a matter of, is that our focus? No, it's not. Okay, cool. Forget it. Put it in a little diary somewhere or your little ADHD app somewhere that will remind us later when we've got some open space and we can do that. And by then it may have passed, and that's fine. And so with focus for me, I'm being cheeky and having 2 words, but I know I need it for myself, and that is to simplify. And with that, I mean, my deep why is to simplify things for people to make it easier, right? I'll do the hard stuff. I'll do the failure first and everything to make it easier for you to learn. But for me, simplify is, I am being a manifesting generator and just being who I am. I am a really big thinker. Like, if you said we want to do an event and have a speaking gig, I would imagine the people in the room, how it's going to happen, what fucking transport you've got to get there, the people that you've got to, like, I would have it all planned and mapped out in my head. Like, part of me, I am an event manager as well. And in a past life, that's what I've done. But I can see those things clear as day, how it's going to unfold. And so, you know, if Mia and I are having a conversation and we go, yeah, like, let's do, I don't know, an event here, I've already gone 55,000 steps ahead before we've even launched something, or, you know, so I need to pull myself back and simplify it and be like, okay, well, hang on, have we launched X thing enough times to know that that works and we can step away to do this? No? Okay, then we need to keep focus here before we do that. So for me, that's what I mean about simplify, is not overcomplicating my big, beautiful vision and trying to action it and then never getting to it. So it's more about actioning the steps that I can actually see happen and tick off, and then be like, okay, now we've done step 1, we can do step 2, because Chris is at step 455 when everyone else is at 5. And that's not a problem, but it's a problem when the word of the year and what we want from 2025 is to get so fucking good at what we do, and it's laser focus that works so well.
Yeah. And it's also simplifying the business too. I keep getting content thrown at me that say one audience, one problem, one platform, one offer, one funnel.
Yeah.
And just stick to it and do it over and over. And, you know, you do have to test, and, you know, entrepreneurship and business is one big science experiment. But when you land on something that works and you can see the results and the clues, keep doing it again and again and again, instead of adding all these different things in. Because you're going to get burnt out and you're going to get overwhelmed, and you're going to confuse your audience too, because they're like, what the fuck are they doing next? Like, and it's like when you land on those stand stores and there's just like 20 different things, and it's like, I just got to get out of here because I don't know what to do. Yeah. So simplify business.
Yeah. And I think even, you know, with that being the word of the year for us, is also going to help us create better content for you guys to learn from, so that instead of us getting bored in little cheeky quotation marks and moving on, going, okay, how can we simplify and make this content more fun for the people that need it, you, right? So I think, like, that's what's exciting us. Strangely enough, I'm actually really excited about focusing and simplifying things. Like, go figure.
Yeah, me too.
What's going on?
I'm actually, my partner hates this, but I throw shit out all the time. I'm just like, nah, don't need it, get out. I just, like, when there's too much stuff going on, I get really overwhelmed. So I like less is best. Yeah. But also I have a problem of, I want to create something new and I get excited and I go down rabbit holes and I want to do this and that and this and that. And I looking back on my entrepreneurial life, I can see it all the time. I do it over and over and over and again. And, you know, we are creative creatures and we just have to learn to focus our creativity into one thing. So we might get creative with our content. We might get creative with our landing pages. Instead of creating something new, we are going to try to channel that creativity instead of, dilute our business. Yeah.
So that, folks, is our word of the year. And what we want to do now is urge you to think of a word of the year. And if you want to drop it, tag us at Hive Hub Collectors, share it with us. We absolutely love it. We had some members of our community share their words of the year. There was determination. There was, what else did we have?
I think someone else had focus as well. Yeah. We got a lot of neurodivergent women in our membership. And, you know, we all feel the the need to create. So
we had another person, like Mia said, had focus. We had consistency, connection, determined, up level. Love a bit of up level. And then courage was another one. And I think another word was grow. And then we had a couple of others that I screenshot, but I can't find them right now. So very sorry about that. But I do know from past years, I've had trust. I've had, like I said, fighter. What else have I had? Possible. That was my favorite. I still love that one, possible. I still remember why I had it. Yeah. And I've had determined before as well. And then, yeah, you can have really anything. It's your word. It's your year. Like, but whatever it is, what Mia and I want you to really feel with this is it's your anchor point. It's what brings you back. When you feel lost, you come back to it. When you feel like you're stumbling, you find it. And when you feel like that about a word, that is your word of the year. So please share it with us. We would absolutely love to hear it.
Write it down, stick it on a sticky note, put it on your phone background so you remember that that's what you're aiming for.
That's a great idea. And before we rack off from podcast number 1 of 2025, Mia, I'd love to know your loves, don't loves, because we will continue to do that because sometimes it's really fun.
Yes. We don't mind this bit. I've actually done my homework. So my love, this is so random, but I was just making it before. You know about the cheese from Bega? There's a block of cheese that you can only get if you go to Bega and get that block of cheese. You can't get it from Woolies, can't get it from anywhere. Yeah. We were travelling down last year in September from Queensland, and we stopped in because we always just stop in just for the cheese. I think we bought like 3 or 4 blocks of it.
Amazing.
It's $20 a block. It's ridiculous, but it's so worth it. And I was just cutting a bit up. Our last block today, last little slither. I just saved it. Anyway, if you're going past Bega, drop in and get their vintage block.
It's pretty funny because I think I told you last year Mum and Dad went travelling in the caravan and they bought some back and I was like, rando to bring me a block of cheese, but I'm here for it. And I ate it and I was like, nobody can touch my cheese. Like,
no, kids in the land.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah. It's just got these little pieces of salt or something through it. Anyway, amazing. Yeah. Excellent. Go get yourself a block if you're heading that way. I don't loves, you know, when you're at the airport, I don't know if Adelaide Airport's got this, probably not because it's probably not as big as Melbourne's.
Rude. But okay, I'll listen to your shitty story.
If you're like me and you bloody catch Jetstar because you're a scabby
Jetstar
scabby person and can't afford Qantas. You watch us, we'll be in business class soon. Yeah. There's these travelators going down the big hallways.
Oh, yeah.
And you're supposed to, it's supposed to make your walk to the end of the terminal quicker because you walk on the travelator while it's travelating.
Yeah, travelating.
People get on there and they just stand there. They just stand there.
They're lazy fuck.
And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is to make the thing quick. But no, they just stand there. And that, I don't know, that just really pisses me off.
Yeah, well, it's that ADHD brain that's like working so fast. You're like, I could be there. I've read 6 books by now. What are we doing? Where's my bigger cheese? Where's my cheese?
So if you happen to be at Melbourne Airport and you're going to Jetstar Terminal 4 and you're on the travelator, please walk. Please just keep walking.
Please walk. I love that. Love, don't love.
So random, isn't it?
So random. So good.
What have you got? I know
look,
yours.
You know most of mine. I'm going to share with everyone else because you're probably so sick of hearing me. You actually just want to punch me in the face, and that's fair. I appreciate it.
Because I really feel for you about this one.
All right. So what I don't love is the fact that our air conditioner has been busted for like 2 years now. It blew off our roof. We live in the windiest place on earth, right? And it literally blew off our roof. That's fine. Anyway, I married a beautiful procrastinator. I won't talk ill of him on the podcast because he's a magical man, but we have procrastinated over an air conditioner for legit 2 years. Long story. Anyway, so I've gone the whole school holidays in the heat with not one fucking air conditioner. couple of fans, and I am to breaking point where I've had enough. And we now have deposited aircon. It's coming 30th of Jan. We'll have a party. You're all invited.
I'll be there. There's been some 40-degree days too, and I'm like, how are you? Are you okay?
I'm not okay. And luckily Mia understands this as well. And I don't know if you're listening, you may feel this as well. I don't handle heat. Like I get really angry and really itchy scratchy in the heat, and I don't cope well. And so it's been really fun parenting children in a house that has no aircon.
If they pay me out because I wanted to move to Melbourne because I like the cold, they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, the heat, it's disgusting.
It's gross.
You don't feel comfortable. You're sticky. You're nah. Sorry.
People are like, let's sit in the sun all day. I'm like, yuck, give me nothing of that.
Give me a jacket, some Ugg boots. Yes, please.
Or like I'm a river girl, so give me the river where there's a gum tree that I can sit in the shade. Then we're on a level that I can handle. But yeah, anyway, that's my gripe, guys. But my love is obviously that the aircon's coming 30th of Jan. Yay! But we bought a pool from good old Clark Rubber, and like a good unit size pool, and so living my best life out there. Kids love it. The second they get in there, they lose their minds. They're happy as anything. They don't fight. So that's like usually I dip a rooney in the pool and then dip in onto bed and sweat myself out there.
Yeah. And Genius Kristen set the pool up outside her office, so you just like the kids are right there. So you're like, perfect.
It's amazing. And then they just they're so happy there, and then I'm happy here. But anyway, that's been my loves don't love. So that is a 25's beginning, guys. It's going to be a ripper year. We say that all the time, but it will be. I know it.
It will be.
All right, team. We got to go. We'll see you next week. Hey. Shit podcast. There's so many good ones too.